Hello painters, I am Uto and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm working on this Warhammer Spirit Toast, some old metal miniatures that I have for a while and finally decided to add to my Vampire Count's army. I choose to paint them entirely with dry brush, aiming for a simple but strong spectral effect. Of course you can just do a simple dry brush and change the color as you want. Usually I start with a black base coat, using the airbrush and Vallejo black primer. This primer has an excellent matte coverage, and in a short time the surface becomes smooth and even, ready to be worked on. The primer is also thinned down with a bit of airbrush thinner, just a few drops, to make the paint more fluid and able to reach all the recesses of the miniature without creating heavy paint buildup or thick clumps. I then move on to an even base coat of AK dark green over the entire model. I try to keep the coverage smooth and controlled, without overloading the paint. This darker green will remain on the outer areas of the miniature, acting as the shadow that frames all the light that will be building afterward. I take my time to cover everything properly, especially since metal models need a solid and consistent base. Just like the previous step, this base coat needs to cover the entire miniature, so it can act as the darkest shadow in every recess. Once the dark green is dry, it's time to move on to the Liquitex white ink, again through the airbrush. Here I focus only on the central areas of the figures, the hands and the face. I'm looking for full opacity, to create a bright foundation that will help the next layer to stand out. I spray the white from above and slightly from the front, imagining the light coming from the inside the spirit itself. For the next step, I use the AK frog green. I apply it over the areas where I sprayed the white, starting to build the transition. Thanks to the lighter base underneath, the green becomes much more vibrant and luminous. At the same time, I'm careful try to not completely cover the darker outer green. This effect really works because of the contrast between the bright center and the edges. As you can see, a couple of layers make the color very vibrant. The second pass is apply only to the most central areas, trying to create a quick blend by taking advantage of the paint's natural coverage. For the final step, I use Army Painter Vivid Volt. I apply it very lightly, focusing only on the very center of the glow. The idea is to add a touch of energy, almost a magical feeling, without overdoing it. If you brighten the entire miniature too much, you lose depth, so I prefer to build up slowly and stop as soon as I'm happy with intensity. As you can see, the spectral effect simply comes from concentrating the lightest color in the center and keeping the darker green toward the outside. It's a fairly quick technique, but very effective for ethereal unit like this, and it works really well for an army project where you want the consistency and efficiency. And that's the final result for this spirit toast. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you like to follow the progress of my Vampire Counts army and future miniature project. And let me know in the comments what you are currently working on. Are you painting something new, blending an army, or trying different techniques? I always enjoy reading about your hobby project. Happy painting!